Welcome, 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 book cousins, book friends, authors, readers, content creators, all alike. We are so happy to have you here on The Bloom Effect. The Bloom Effect is your space for all things Black books, Black stories, and for the people who bring them to life, such as Miss Aries Skye. Miss Aries Skye has given us a wonderful, wonderful series full of love. And I am excited to sit and chat with her today. So, Miss Aries Skye, welcome, welcome, welcome to The Bloom Effect.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here chatting with you.
I'm so happy to have you. So we have four segments that I have broken this apart to have this really good conversation that dives into who you are, what you write, what you want to leave for the community, and what type of legacy that you want to have. So let's just dive right in.
Okay.
First, let's start with the spark, your origin, your vision. Let us know if you think back to the beginning, what was the first spark that lit your author journey?
Oh my goodness. Oh, if I could. Ooh, the first part that lit my author journey. Okay, well that's different. So that is one particular thing that I can actually say. Now, writing journey is a little different, but going into authorhood, there was a award show. I believe it was BT Award. And I had kind of been struggling on whether or not I wanted to write or not as far as publishing. And so,
Mm-hmm.
because it's always been my thing, but it was my thing. It wasn't to be shared. It was just like I write for me. And so,
Yes.
but it had really been tugging at me to like really give the publishing, side a try. So I said, I'm kind of rebellious. And my simple prayer was, Lord, okay, make it plain. If you really want
Mm.
me to go this way, you got to show me because, I'm not that child that gets hints. You got to give me like a full
Make it plain,
blown
Lord.
sign. Just make it plain. And I'm walking through my living room and wasn't even watching this award show. I think it was VT Awards. And I heard Tyler Perry say, something's meant for you when you try to leave it alone, but it won't leave you alone. And I said,
Mm.
that's it. Thank you. I'm gonna go for it.
I love that. I love that. And it's so good when you have something that's made plain for you, where it's like there's no secret, there's no guessing. It's just right there in your face. Like, okay, Lord, I get it. I'm gonna stop being rebellious. I'm gonna go
You're
ahead and walk in my purpose. I got
right.
you. I got you. I'm listening.
Exactly. Because you have to, right? You have to at some point embrace it. Because I always say, like, I heard something very interesting, and they said that you don't lose blessings; they get redirected.
Ooh, that's a word. That
That's
is
a
a word.
that's a word. That's it. I don't want my blessing to be redirected, Lord. Let me go ahead and embrace it.
Hello. Hello. Because okay, we're not gonna have church today.
Okay.
We are not gonna go to church today. I love it though. I love it. So in knowing that, who poured into your creativity in this process, whether it be friends, mentors, or perhaps even books that changed you and led you to this direction?
Oh my goodness. So I would say, as far as writing, it's reading. I was a reader first. I'm still a reader. I love to read. I'm a fan of so many different authors, so many different genres, and just different, writing styles and stories have just really poured into me. I'm amazed always at us good Black people's creativity and where
Mm-hmm.
the things our minds can lead us. So that for me helped cultivate me. Like it was in particular, when I was in the eighth grade, I remember reading the novel Coming of Age by Lori Hewitt. And at the time, I think she was like a sophomore at Spelman, and she wrote this book, and it was a YA book, and it was about high school kids. And I was like, this is what I want to do one day. I want to write. And so that's what led me to start writing. But it kind of, as I, began, I was like, it's kind of always been in my wheelhouse to write because I was always writing in, diaries and writing these little short stories. I used to pretend to be a lawyer and I'd write up my arguments when I was like 9 years old.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Lawyer? That is
Yeah.
one I haven't heard, but it's really good to know that after reading the books that I've read by you, like I could see that. I could see the arguments. I can see the arguments.
Exactly. Like I'm telling you, when I was like 8, I wanted to be an attorney. So I would carry around my clarinet case and act like it was a briefcase.
Oh,
And I would sit here and just write out my little arguments and put my bears and my dolls up here, and I would like make my plea to the jury. All this stuff.
tell it. All right.
And so my mom was like, "You're gonna be an attorney." And of course, then I grew up and went to college, and I was like, "I don't even like college school like this. So I like the degrees. I don't think I can. I don't think I want to do this."
Right, right. As soon as you find out how much actually got to go into it, you're like, let's rethink this for a minute.
Exactly. I was like, I think I'm good with getting my degree and getting a job and living life. I'm okay with that.
So back to the writing phase, but I love how you dabble into your childhood early phases that led you to your writing style. So as we're talking about that, what made you decide not to just write, but to publish and join the world of Black indie fiction?
I just knew that I had to get my story out there, to be honest with you. It was like, well, once if you make that commitment to say, okay, this is what you want to do, then you have to go ahead and you have to pursue it. Like I felt like I asked God for something, He gave me the answer. It was nothing left for me to do it. And then the type of stories I want to write was just based off of the fact because I started off really sweet with this really
Mm-hmm.
sweet love, and I was like, I've been married, and I love my husband and we have this great, relationship. And plus two, I was like, okay, I want to write stories that cater to times that we're in, things that's happening around us now. And so those are my two motivations. And I said, you know what? Yep, just do it. Just put it out there. Go for it. Throw it to the wall. If it sticks, it sticks. If it
Some
doesn't,
gonna
I did
stick.
it.
At least you did it. I love that. I love that. So let's get into your craft. When you are building the reading experience, and I want to talk about your craft and building the experience with the Love Brothers. We have Supreme, we have Savior, who is my fave, and we have Saint, who is my headache. Just want you to know. Just want you to know. So in the Love series, we're introduced to these three brothers who have very different personalities. Their names are some heavy hitting names. And in a way, they each live up to them, except Saint. He's the polar opposite. Polar opposite. But in a way, his innocence shows up very differently. To me, it looks like an act of rebellion through innocence, in my opinion. So, but let's dive into the different dynamics of their personalities and how you molded them into one world of chaos. What was the process of channeling these three brothers into how we view the eldest, the middle, the youngest characteristics in the crime world?
So for first of all, the story was if you don't know the way, so let the beat build. So that's the first thing that was on my mind. I was like, you know what? I love that song, Let the Beat Build. I want to let this story build like that. Like, so you have this introduction, like Supreme comes in hot. First
Yes,
singer comes in hot. It comes in hot.
heavy hitter.
And then he mellows out because you meet him currently, he's in a different space. And you kind of see the escalation, but it's like, okay, he's calm, he's collected, he's a thinker, as the eldest, that's kind of what they go through. So I mimic that after siblings, like true life siblings. Like most of the time, the eldest is the one people depend on to make the decisions, to be the grounded one, to be the thinker, and to lead their other siblings, whether or not their path is good or bad, on the directions that they need to go. And so you meet Supreme in this stage in his life where he's grounded, he's trying to do the right thing, he's trying to be a changed man, and people won't let him
They won't let him be great. I ain't gonna
they,
lie to you. They would not let my boy be great.
they would not let him be great because he was like right there, right on the cusp. And then it's like, okay, and Savior, just like a middle child, the one who's always the go between, the true person who's grounded, because of course the oldest, they think they're in charge and they want to lead
Mm-hmm.
everything. The youngest wants the book. The middle one, it has to be the bridge all the time. He's the bridge between the parents. He's the bridge between the brothers, and that was his role. He's really laid back and chill, but he had to learn that because he had
Mm-hmm.
anger issues. But once his thing was boxing. And so through that, he became disciplined. And I think that assisted him on his journey and gave him more clarity sometimes than the oldest and the youngest about what he needed to do for himself and in his life. But then, of
Yes.
course, the youngest. Young
Hell on wheels. Let's just
hell.
call it what it is. Hell on wheels.
Listen, chaos. He is a hurricane, a tornado, and a tsunami. Okay, and
All of
he
the above.
and he doesn't apologize for it at all. Okay, he knows he is. But even in that, with the babies, they rebel, but it's a certain innocence, like you say, in them because they're not always seeing things with the full gamut of information. They're seeing things through rose-colored lenses. And
Yes.
so, because babies tend to be sheltered, people tend to hide stuff from them.
Yep.
So they can only view life how it's presented to them. And
Mm-hmm.
so, of course, babies, just like anybody else, they don't want to be baby. They want to be respected as someone who's equal. And when he
Yep.
doesn't feel that way, he here
He
comes here
rebels.
comes the thunder.
He rebels on
He
a whole other
rebels
level.
on a whole other level. It is not apologetic for it at all. Like he got his thing is, you know how I am.
Now, question: are you an eldest, middle, youngest, or only child?
I am a youngest. Wait, I'm sorry.
Ma'am, that makes sense why you got so much
Percent.
chaos.
It makes perfect sense. It makes
It makes
perfect
perfect
sense.
sense why all the chaos is there. All the
It
chaos.
makes all the chaos is right there with the youngest. Like, I'm speaking for a real lived experience.
Listen, it definitely get real. So I'm an oldest. So I found it, I love the idea that Savior was so grounded and was the bridge between everybody. But as an oldest daughter, um, and only daughter, it is very interesting to have to be the bridge between everybody. So I was able to relate on to Savior on that level. But I love Preem on a whole other level for being the oldest, for being the go-to, for shining the light on what it means to be the head of the family, even if you don't want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Preem really did do that. So let's talk about Preem for a minute. He wanted love and to be
Mhm.
loved despite the resistance he faced early on with Rain's parents.
Yes.
We see a lot of plot twists and turns he never really walked away from that mindset,
Mhm.
but his brothers slowly. Hell on Wheels, Saint practically snailed his way to a level of wanting to understand Supreme.
Yeah.
He took a while, but love wasn't on the menu for him for so many chapters. So, but it hits him hard.
Yes. Yes. Right in the chest.
And listen, cracked open his chest. How did the levels of Preem's love, and I'm going to leave Savior out because he had such balance in the way that he loved, but Supreme and Saint were such polar opposites to me when
Mm-hmm.
it came to experiencing their love. How was it to complicate the love factor for each of these love brothers, for Supreme and Saint? How hard was it for you to complicate it for those two specifically?
It really wasn't that difficult because this is what I kept in mind. Supreme, the one factor that, it is mentioned, and it's kind of the constant thing that drives them. They lost their mother when they were young, but Supreme had more years with his mother
Right.
than the other siblings. So he
Ah,
got
okay.
to see, more of a feminine side, the softer side. He got more of his mother's guidance. Tank was young, like, he was really young, so he didn't get that. All he had was Samson for the majority of his life. And we all know what
We're
Samson
gonna
was
get to
showing
him.
him.
We're gonna get to him. We're gonna get
We
to him.
know what Samson was. So yeah, he didn't get that. The closest he got to that was Miss Glenda. But of course, she's there's a still a line between someone who works for you, and having that actual true parental in your life who's advising, and showing you and guiding you. And so in that, I think, okay, if Supreme had his mother and he was able to see this love and nurture that, he's going to mimic that. Whoever he falls for, he's going to be, hey, this is it. This is my one woman. I will be her one man, and that
Mm-hmm.
was for him was right. And it came early on for him. So during the time when that his mother was there in his life and
Mm-hmm.
kind of cultivating that little puppy love and all of that stuff. And for Saint, it's like, I didn't get this soft side. I didn't get any of
Sure
this.
didn't. Sure
So
didn't.
he's rolling through life with his one thing in mind, which is like, okay, the only thing I know that I can get from woman is what's between her legs, and,
Right,
and I don't
right.
even want that from the same woman. Okay,
Saint was wild.
yes,
Saint
he was.
Saint was wild. My God. My God. But I want to flip the script to Big Daddy Love for a minute.
Oh, no.
Um, I want you to know that Samson can burn in the deepest pits of hell.
I agree.
And he needs to go far, far away. Far away.
Yes.
What was the process in diving into the villain era? Because you wrote Samson as one of the most hated characters across these books.
Yes.
You did that.
Oh,
Like, if you wanted a villain, this was it. This, sir. Like, if you wanted me to hate him, I do.
yes. So Samson, which is hilarious. When I first plotted this story, Samson was actually supposed to be a good father.
Really?
He was supposed to be like this stand-up jet, this really good man, And as I began to go through my outline, Samson just kept coming to me talking about, so this is not who I am.
Oh,
This is not who I am. I know this is who you want me to be, but this is not who I am. And I was just like, okay, well then tell me who you are. And so he told me who he was, and I was like, I don't like you, but hey, this what you want. I'm all right.
listen.
These people I listen. I tell people all the time, listen, our authors are truly honest when they say characters speak to you. Like, because I wanted Samson to be good. I did. He was just like, this ain't me. This is okay. You write that bullshit you want to. Hey, it is not who I am. And I said, okay, then fine. I'm all right. Exactly who you're telling me you are. And when I say I loathe Samson, I hate him just like the readers hate him. I really, really do. I hate this man. But he's a necessary evil.
Is he? Is he a necessary evil? Because the way that I need him to take a dirt nap immediately. Immediately. Like, why are you still here, sir?
But because that's what evil does, right? Evil don't die. Evil just lingers.
You right. You right. You right. So let's get into your bloom. Your bloom, your impact, and your connection to community and building amongst the reader's experience. So when you think of your readers, how do you describe your type of reader? Like, from all of the feedback that you have gotten about your books, what type of readers do you
Listen, I said y'all are just as chaotic as I
have? You might be on to something.
am. This is the funniest thing was is that I say that I write hot and street and spicy and sweet. And then there was a reader who said, Aries Skye really said, let's take romance and make it chaos. And I was like, that is perfect. That
That
that's
is
truly
perfect.
perfect. That is truly perfect. And that's the kind of readers I think I have, ones who really love romance and chaos. Like that. Yeah, you guys, you thrive in it. You love it. You love a good love story. You love, you love a good little smacking and putting in the mattress and all of that stuff. But you guys love twists and plots and
Yes.
angst and all of that stuff. It's like we complain about it, but we just can't help tuning in. We just keep on, sliding up in
We're
that
suckers for
seat.
torture.
Right, just sign us up. Sign me up for some more torture. I'm good with it.
Absolutely. As a reader, I can attest to that being the case. That is the case. And how important are your readers to your experience as an author?
Are very important to me. I appreciate you guys because it's just like this. It's like, we're here as authors. We feed you guys because you're readers and you just love stories and we love that you love it. And so a lot of times it's a lonely journey because when you're sitting here, it's just you and your tablet or you and your keyboard, and you don't know how this is going to be received. You just know how the story's coming to you, and you hope that somebody else reads it and gets it and loves it too. So then when you guys talk to us about it and you tell us, what you like, even what you didn't like,
Hmm.
that if you talk about the characters, I love to talk about the characters because I'm like, well, you know what? They hate Samson, then I did my job because this is what he wanted. He wanted to be hated.
Hello?
So I'm like, if this is what he wanted me to write, then I did the job that I was supposed to do. So I love it and I love the feedback because it fuels us. It's like sometimes we can be like, and I'm sick of this. I don't want to write. I ain't got no sales this week. And I'm like talking about my book, so we get inside of our heads, and then all of a sudden, you'll have like, someone who, and I always say, I use you as a great example because, like, listen, you don't know how many times you have lit up my day. Like, I'm like, oh my God, so I'm going here and I posted something, and then here you come and you like it and you reach out. I said, oh, somebody out here loving on me today.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. They
Because
love
we're
me
gonna
on
love
the
on
inside.
you.
I said,
We
so
definitely gonna love
it
on you.
fuels us. Thank you. That's like so it fuels us, and it just helps keep us excited about the writing journey. It keeps us excited about the stories we're telling. So we love it. So thank y'all.
No problem. No problem. And happy to do it with no shame. So let's get into the ripple. This is your legacy. This is your future. How do you stay grounded and inspired as your platform, audience, catalog all continue to grow?
And I talk about this all the time, and 1,000%. Um, I can write as many stories I want to write. Right. That's gonna, I mean, to a certain degree, that's what I was doing anyway. But to take a step into publishing is because I want somebody to read it, right? I want others to enjoy what I'm writing and to take a chance on me. So for me, that stays at the center of it all because I realized I would not have the readers I do or the success I do without you guys. So I'm always gonna be the one like I one day I might learn how to say no. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I may not know how to say no, but there is not a time where you're ever gonna see me not be appreciative. I am forever. Like you might get tired of me saying things like, yeah, you don't have to thank me all the time, but then I do because there's so many there's millions of books out here, hundreds of thousands of black authors. You could be reading, talking about, reviewing, sharing anybody else except for me. And for me to feel like I'm too beside myself, not to say thank you for a simple share or a simple like or a simple comment. It's like, no, I am. And it's like I will always, once I see it, I'm always gonna comment. I'm always gonna be appreciative to, the readers. I'm always gonna thank them for it. I'm gonna reshare what you guys say all the time because I want you guys to know that I appreciate everything that you're doing because I also realize you didn't have to. You don't have to. No one has to do anything for you. And I keep that at the center of who I am because that is just to me the highest compliment that you guys could ever give me. And so, and then on top of spending your money, and buying
Mhm.
it and then investing it into us, it's like you can spend your dollars anywhere you want to. You don't have to spend them with me. So the least of what I can do is make sure that you guys know that I appreciate you every single solitary time I see it. If you tag me, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna comment.
Hmm. And believe it or not, as someone who does content creating, who loves reading, it never goes unnoticed. It never
Oh,
goes unnoticed. And those thank yous mean so much. They mean
oh,
so much because
mm,
it could, for me, it makes it feel like I'm doing some good out here. I'm doing some
yes.
good to help uplift other people and their stories and getting the word out for an author who is out here telling the stories that gives us representation in Black love and Black chaos in all of its realms.
Yes, well, thank you. And surely, like I appreciate you guys. Every last one is like, and I said all the time, like, even I ask and I pray, I said, Lord, I want my star to continue to rise. But one thing I always say is like, regardless of how far it rises, please don't ever let me get to that point where it's like, I don't have time to do this. No, I'm gonna make time. I promise that. I'm gonna make it.
Yes, yes. So what's next on the horizon for you as your star rises? So new books, new genres, brand expansion, events. What you got next going on?
So definitely getting into more events. I'm definitely what is it? Love in the Carolinas is coming up in January. I'll be there, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to attend more events. I definitely have more books on the horizon because Samson's book is coming, and woo, that is
I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna get my holy water and my sage.
listen, that is gonna be, and I tell one thing I will say is Samson's story. Of course, you have to. It's called Samson Loves the Beginning, so that means you get his backstory. But it's gonna bring you forward. And this is not a redemptive story. If some people feel like you need to be redeemed after this, that's totally on you because I am not writing this to be a redemptive story for him. I'll just let you know. This is why this monster is this monster, And hey, take from that what you will, but that is a lot that will be revealed in that. And so I'm excited for his story because his story is actually the one that has the most twisted turns and unexpected things that's gonna happen for you guys. And then, of course, I have to get my suite in. I have Love on Board, which is coming out also in January. It's the third part of my series. That's the like that's the spicy sweet side of me, and I love it. But
Okay.
that's the real side. Akila, she's gone through a divorce, and she is trying to find herself as a woman again, without her spouse, as a mother, living, being a single parent. And there is a twist behind her divorce that has got
Okay.
everybody up in arms. Yeah, because it wasn't it's not a typical or normal situation that she was in with her marriage. So she had that, and then she's also, looking for something to get into, not necessarily love, but then she finds love in the most unexpected place. So
I
I'm
love it.
excited for her story, and I'm excited because Winston James and Charlie Elwood are narrating the audiobook. So for audiobook lovers, please make sure you check it out. I'm so stoked about that. So I'm excited about that. And then also I have a Christmas story coming out next year. Love Me Down to Christmas. So
Okay.
Hallmarkish now. Yeah, I said, let me put my disclaimer. This is totally like mahogany Hallmark vibes, all right? So it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a little different than the rest of them, but that's okay. I love Christmas stories. That's at the heart of who I am too. And so I was like, I have to put out my version of mahogany Hallmark.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, last question. What ripple do you hope your work leaves behind in the indie author world?
You know what? I hope that the ripple is that you guys love to fall in love, whether or not it's chaotic, whether or not it's sweet, whether or not it's hot, whether or not it's spicy, and that y'all love it to hear from that from me. Aries Skye. So if you guys take the stories, whether or not they're these great mafia romances or these sweet, everyday stories, that you guys just appreciate it for the story that's there and for the author who's presenting it. That's all I want. That's it.
All right. Well, Miss Aries Skye, thank you so much for joining the Bloom Effect. I just want to let you all know that you have just experienced the Bloom Effect, where we honor the authors, the readers, and the visionaries building the future of Black literature. Carry this energy forward, share the stories, champion the voices, and be a part of the legacy. Until we meet again, keep blooming boldly in your own chapter.